What's up, everyone? Welcome back to StoryTime. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. I can do that intro faster every episode. I'm enjoying it a lot. Today we have singer-songwriter Carla Franco in studio today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you a lot.
Thank you for having me.
It's just the two of us in studio today.
Yeah!
This never happens. Usually we have people behind me here, but we don't today.
We'll be our own cheerleaders.
There we go.
That's what it is.
We will be our own gears.
Yes, yeah.
Got the out there. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I
appreciate you being here. We've just been on a tangent chatting for the last half an hour. We actually haven't even
So now it's awkward. It feels like we're
yet.
starting this mid-chat. Hi, guys.
So I think let's give people an explanation, a definition, a bit of info into who you are and what you do from your own words, and then we get into what this is.
It's always so weird. You know, when people are like, tell us about yourself, and you're like,
my favorite color is blue.
No, literally. Literally. Anyways, Carla Franco. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm originally from Bloemfontein.
It's fun.
Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein. Vrystaat.
There we go.
I don't know where that came from.
We know the culture.
We were ready with that. It felt like it needed to come out. Anyways, I'm from Bloemfontein. I am also a hearing-impaired singer-songwriter. And I call my fans the Deaf Girl Gang. And I will make jokes about my hearing all the time. And by that, I mean the lack thereof.
That was good. I like that. Okay, so it's so
like that, you know. Yeah.
There's fluidity with this. Yeah. Okay.
I have a lot of views on the music industry that if you follow me on Instagram, you will hear.
Okay.
A lot of them. I just love writing songs, and I think I was exposed to just like really diverse, good music growing up. Like my dad was always jamming like Led Zeppelin or Queen or AC/DC, and my mom was like a more Brenda Fassie, Miriam Makeba sort of.
Don't even know who that is. I'm so sorry.
We were just
uneducated.
I think my parents just loved listening to good music, and then like a lot of my mom and her Afrikaans music. I don't understand it. Like she's Portuguese.
Listen, Afrikaans.
Through.
There's a song.
Have you heard that Witskuna song? Kaderen, you know. I don't understand it, and she maintains that I should do like a Portuguese meets Afrikaans uns song.
Have you heard?
And that's she phrases it like this. Josh, she says, "That's when you'll make it," and I'm like, "Thanks, mom."
Have you heard this song? This gets me going. Heard it at a wedding for the first time. You know which one I'm talking about? Again, I don't know any of the words other than Witskuna. I know what those are. That's all I know. Those songs are vibe. Please don't sue me for playing your music.
Even in Cape Town, you can't escape Bloem. Just
there we go.
For those of you...
It's Lofi and James. Please don't come at me. Lofi, I love that song, dude.
Listen, I must say there are some... I say this, but there are some seriously good Afrikaans songs. I think, especially like in the alt rock scene.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to like Zaan Sonnekus, for example. Like, his music is insane.
I think he's going to be one of the next big things.
And I just like, my bassist from Joburg, who goes by Locally, but now goes by Vreemd. He's such an incredible songwriter, and he's got like this really cool sort of rock, alt, indie blend sound. He's so good. And so there's like seriously talented Afrikaans musicians. I think it's just like I just have so many cringe memories attached to like socky music.
I think a lot of people do.
You know what I mean? And not like other people. Me, I'm the problem. You know, like, you know, like the Afrikaans Jaws, you know?
They're the best Jaws.
They're also the most like, what's the word? Indignifying, like...
That's too big of a Scrabble word for my...
Is that even a word? Like, you lose your dignity at those Jaws.
Oh, 100%. No.
Time.
It's not a dignity thing, but I get it's like, a pride thing.
It's both.
There's no ego.
You leave there empty. You leave there...
There's no ego.
Jou naam is op die dansvloer. You know, like... This dog, you know, met Johannes brandewyn and coke or something, you know.
Are you going to do Liefde by die Dam in Mirandale?
I have been.
I've never been.
Haven't you? It's a vibe. That's why I'm saying, like, low-key, like, I can appreciate Afrikaans music. I just think as a musician and as an artist, you know, the majority of the space is held for, like, white men. and
I mean-
urban music. So like amapiano and then like Afrikaans music. So it's a very difficult space as like a female artist to try and find, and then an English female artist to find like a little gappy gap. Like we know of each other because there's like a lot of female artists that like I'm exposed to because I am one. But if we're talking about the general population and the general music industry in South Africa, there's not a lot of female artists that people actually like legitimately know and listen to.
Well, let's touch on that.
But leave
Let's
the baby
touch into
dumb.
that.
But leave the baby dumb vibes.
Oh,
Like
massive
you're gonna
vibes.
enjoy it. You're gonna
Yeah.
enjoy it. I maintain this until the day I die. Beach van Plessen
Legend.
and Early B
Legend.
are actually insanely good live. Like,
Oh, really?
if you haven't seen
I've
them
never seen
live,
them live.
it's a joy. It's like
Really?
and like just even like just the way the set is designed. Early B especially, like he's good, dude. It's not like he's just there singing his song. It's like the song matches the studio version. Like he's good.
Sick.
Like he's
Okay.
good. So I have an appreciation for it for what it is. It's just not what I do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
get
what
where you're
I'm
coming
doing
from.
is so far away from that. But I actually did a Mingle song in like my sophomore album. For people who don't know, that's the second album. I don't know why they don't just say.
I
Her
didn't know
second-
that.
Yeah,
I
it's the
didn't know that.
debut album, which is like your first ever like more like an EP or like
Yeah.
more than like 8 songs album type vibe. And then you've got your sophomore album, which is like what follows your first studio album. So my sophomore album, which is the album that got the summer nomination, one of the first 3 songs is Neri Yereviet. And it's like, I call it my Mengo song, but then there's also Sesotho in it because I wanted it to be reflective
What?
of like where I came from musically and like instrumentally.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, so like I dabble and I've written a lot of Afrikaans songs. It's just I don't want to be an Afrikaans artist.
Yeah.
Want ek praat die taal, but like I don't.
Sprackens the
Yeah,
taal.
like you
Yeah.
know what I mean. Once I had to teach an Afrikaans class, dude. That was a journey. That
Oh, could I do
that was a journey. Geography in Afrikaans.
Trappe van vergelijking.
Listen, it was a journey. Can you try like pronouncing? I was teaching myself.
Oh,
A whole new section of the
You're
language.
like studying the country going,
It was
wow.
wild. That was a wild time in my life.
Yeah, being a teacher.
that was what-
Damn, if I had to
that was-
teach anything, I wasn't good at many school subjects. It would probably be art or drama or business. I enjoyed quite a lot. Geography was a little
Geography
bit of a
was the
tank.
worst one. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just going to put
Yeah.
that out there. I'm sorry, geography teachers. I was one. I
You
get
gotta
it.
like teach the pyramids in Afrikaans. What's a pyramid in Afrikaans?
Don't do this.
A vier
Please
hoek.
don't make me look
Wait,
like I
that's a
have no
square.
intellect on your podcast because I don't
What
know
is
the
a
answer to
pyramid in
that question. Pyramide. I don't know.
I think that's right.
Actually, I'll be shook. The Afrikaans people are listening to this going, what is going on? Like,
Let's see,
what
a
is
pyramid in
happening?
Afrikaans is.
That was most of
No,
us in
you're
Afrikaans
joking.
lessons.
You are right.
Don't. But how do you pronounce it? Pronounce it. Click that like speaker.
Pyramid.
Is?
Pyramide.
No, it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. So, well done. Welcome
thank
to
you.
our Afrikaans lesson
I
today.
really, that was a wild
Um,
guess. Anyways.
I want to touch into what you were saying
Yeah.
about being a female musician in the music
South Africa.
space. Before we touch into that,
Yeah.
when you say hearing impaired, what does it mean?
Okay, so it means I've got a hearing loss. I'm not completely deaf. But, so in your ears, the doctors are going to be like, "Go, what are you saying?" But I'm just going to like layman term this thing.
Yeah.
In your ears, you've got like these little hairs, okay? Which is like so gross to think about actually, but you've got little hairs in your ears, okay? And these are the little hairs like around your sort of, I don't want to say eardrum, but within the home that is your ears,
Yeah.
okay? These little hairs. These hairs are what pick up the vibration that we know as sound. And that is what allows us to hear what we hear or don't hear. So when you've got a hearing impairment, right, some of those hairs are dead. So they're not picking up the vibration. So a lot of the sound signals, if I can put it that way, aren't coming through. So I hear, but I don't hear a lot of other things. So for example, if you hear the birds outside, I'm not hearing the birds outside. If I'm in a room that echoes, I find it incredibly especially with the autism, like the tisms, you know, it's
Yeah.
so overwhelming because I can't isolate sound. I can't lock in on you. It's all just one big mush of noise. Like I can hear, okay, this person's talking, there's music in the background, but I can't isolate the sound to like hear what you are saying. And that's where like lip reading comes really handy. But it just like, yeah, I just don't hear like the finite things. And if you listen to my music, a lot of my music is in the lower register, very bassy, very like in the alto side of like music, or like treble, because I hear better when there's more
Hot
vibration.
Mess is fire, by the way. I was listening to it before you came in now. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
fire.
I appreciate it. So yeah, it basically, I'm able to hear, but
Drinking an oxhydrate feels like.
Is there no one else? Give it up for Still
Let's get back to the show.
it's kind of just one big mush of sound if there's other sounds happening around
So
it.
we have hairy ears and you have smooth ears.
I have dead ears.
No, that sounds terrible.
R.I.P.
It's terrible. No, let's go back to smooth. Yeah.
I don't know. That makes it feel weird, dude. Like, because that makes me feel like
I
my
didn't
ears are
know
slippery
that.
slide. You know, like, you know.
Yeah.
That's probably why the sound doesn't make it in. You know.
There you go.
In
There you
layman
go.
terms, my deafness
You have
is.
slippery slide ears, yeah.
That's so gross.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically a lot of your little hairs that pick up the vibrations are still healthy and living, and I was born with it. So you can. That's why ENTs and like audiologists are so hectic about people wearing plugs to concerts and like what kind of earphones you're using, because you can actually cause those hairs to subside. They're like age and they can die. So you can lose your hearing over time. That's why they talk about it so seriously. Yeah.
That's why
So
when that
while
little
you're in that
warning
mosh
pops
pit,
up-
your ears are like, help me, help me.
Yeah,
You know?
when that warning pops up on my phone saying you've been listening to music too loud for too long, and I'm like, you don't
That's
know me.
why. That's why.
Okay.
There's a certain decibel frequency that your ears shouldn't be operating at. Like you shouldn't be listening to music once it passes like a certain decibel. And we're all doing it. Like even I'm doing it. But like my ears are already like, you know.
How does that transfer to making music for you?
That's why everything's so bassy. Like,
Damn, I kind of
Yeah.
want to get to hear it the way you understand what I'm saying? I want to understand
yeah.
how
My
you're hearing
producer,
it.
Hendrik, and I, he's like, it's always so intriguing working together because he's always just like, you hear things differently, literally, but I'm imagining sounds that like he wouldn't ideally put like in that song.
Wow.
So
okay.
there's a song I did, Need to Get Better. It's honestly, in my opinion, one of my most like underrated songs. It's really a goodie. Like I really stand by what I did in that track. And I told him, I was like, I want a guitar riff sound, like, but with a saxophone. And Hendrix has learned with me, and this is why I love working with him. Like I love working with him because he doesn't say no, and hear me out. Like he will try something before he says it's not working.
Figure out that it doesn't work.
Very few producers that will do that.
Okay.
I've worked with a producer for one of the biggest hip hop artists in our country, and he just flat out was like, "That's not gonna work." And Hendrix was like, "No, that sounds sick. Let's try it." And we did it, and it's like a super super fun part of Need to Get Better, and I can't imagine the song without it. So I don't know, like it's such a normal thing for me to walk through the world with my hearing impairment. And my parents were very adamant on like normalizing it. Like there's nothing wrong with you, just carry on. It's like that, Portuguese immigrant mentality. Yeah. But at the same time, like there's a lot of things that make it challenging. Like doing live shows. Like if the sound production company or the venue doesn't have in-ears, like packs, like the packs that put like the in-ears that artists sing with. What people don't understand is those in-ears, we can set how loud we want our guitarist to be, how loud we want our bassist to be. And I need to hear my drummer because I struggle to hear like that sort of kick, that timing of a song.
Because it sounds like one big...
And my drummer just knows like that language to help me along with it. And I need to hear my bassist. And if you know music, your drummer and your bassist are the foundation of any band. Yeah. And so I need to hear them more than I'm hearing the vocalist.
Okay.
Because in my mind, it's the vocalist's responsibility to know what the harmonies are. That's not my burden to carry. My burden is to run the show, to hear what's going on so I don't throw my band off. And then, in turn, don't make the audience hear that awkward. You know, like when you go to live shows and you're like, ooh, that's a bit... Or like when something's just off, like someone's off time. You don't want to be that person. Especially when you're the front man and it's your music and your stuff. So like there's a lot of challenges with it. And like also just, you know that feeling when you're like, oh, I'm not going to ask someone to repeat themselves because like I've literally asked 3 times already.
Yeah.
For me, I miss out on so much of like conversations that are going on and so many things that people say. Like my partner always makes so much fun of me. She's like, this is hilarious. Like I just say things and she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, you said this. And she just cackled. And she's like, that's not it. That's not. Yeah. And like there are moments, like on a good day, I'm like, that's hilarious. But like on a bad day, it's like, it's frustrating. Yeah. Like it's debilitating to like miss out on so much. Like going to the movies is my worst nightmare because there's no subtitles. And then you add that it's super echoey.
Yeah.
So, and I think that, like there's like little things, but I just love music so much, man. Like, it's so ingrained and natural to me. It always has been. I was in marimba band. I've got so many stories about like my coming into what music is. We can talk about it, but not right. But we'll get there. But yeah, I think, and I make a lot of jokes about it, and like people don't need to feel sorry for me when I make those jokes sincerely because it's hilarious. And it just. I make light of it because it is what it is, and I think it's really cool, and I think I'm really blessed that I can still hear what I can, and I'm really blessed that I can still make music. I don't think there's any reason I shouldn't make music just because I don't hear fully. I think that makes it a really fun experience because you in the audience, unless you follow me, you don't know that. But at my shows, you find out because one of my live show rules is because I'm deaf, you need to cheer louder.
Aces, that's a good call. I like that.
So you're letting the audience know you've got a hearing impairment. They know it. They know like, and their brain starts going where your brain goes. Like, oh, but how do you hear the music and where do you do it? And I forget. It's moments like after Band or Bus with Tex in the City. It's moments like that when I realize like you're doing the most. Like you're actually doing something crazy cool. But because it's like something I've had and I've known about since I was 7 years old, for me, I'm just like, there's nothing special about it. Because my family made it clear there's nothing special about it. In the pure intention of wanting me to go through life like any other person would.
Not having it be your identity, right? Like,
yes. But to such an extent that I don't attach it to my identity. When I should. To some degree.
I see what you're saying.
Meaning like, I don't give myself the credit I should. For like not letting these things
hold you
get
back
to me. And just like get to me. Just when I've got such a quick turnover, like when I don't hear something and people are like, no man, Carla, we're not going to repeat. I'm like, I'm deaf, bro.
Yeah.
That's discrimination. Like you need to tell me what you said. And it makes it so lighthearted that it's like, I own it in that way. And so I'm becoming a lot more comfortable with understanding what it is. How I struggle. And I think I'm hitting a point in my career where I really want to start talking about it more. Like I really want to collaborate with like the Ear Institute, for example, or like audiologists. Hit me up. I really just want to do collaborations where we can teach people about how do you get a hearing test? Like how do you look into this? What are the things you need to look out for? Like is it hereditary? Is it just because no one else in my family had it?
Yeah.
I was the only one. So... You know, it's like little things, like just get the earplugs. No one's going to think you're weird. Just get the earplugs.
Do you think there's people that have this and don't know they have it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yes, I wouldn't know. Because I got tested so early. I got tested when I was 7, and that's when they realized, because my mom thought it was a speech impediment, because I kept saying elephant instead of elephant. And my mom was like, that's cute, which I mean, obviously, that was cute. But my mom was like, when you were 7, it stopped being cute. And I was like,
Yeah, she was like, hang on, now we actually need to figure this out.
Yeah, and then she took me to a speech therapist. And the speech therapist had like a snake on the table. And she was just like going with the snake. And she was like, I wasn't doing it. And like now that I'm older, I'm like, that is hilarious. Because I couldn't hear that she was going. So I'm like, why is this lady sitting in silence, bruh? Like, this
Just
is so
moving her
awkward.
finger along the
Yeah,
side.
and I'm like, why is this honey? This honey is just like staring at me. She's like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, are you
Like,
okay,
say something,
ma'am? Like,
dude.
do you need water? I don't know. Like, I'm just imagine 7-year-old Carla. I'm like, lady,
I think
ma'am, are you
you've
okay?
lost the plot.
And then
yeah.
she told me, no, literally, because I genuinely, that's like where I was first exposed to gaslighting. I was like,
Yeah, hang on, wait a second.
No, anyway, so she told my mom, and we went and did the hearing test, and it's like this little beep beep thing. You've got like you sit in a box.
I did that
Like,
test.
and it's
Yes.
like a little beep beep, and then like I just stopped pushing it, and you see like my mom's head pop out, and you see the doctor like look at my mom. It's like such an ingrained memory, and my mom just looking at me, and my mom just like bawling and like walking away. And I'm sitting there, yeah, oh my God, something's wrong.
You're like,
Help
okay,
me.
fine. Push. Yeah, exactly. Do I win?
I'm
Like,
fine. I heard all of it.
I remember doing that test. And
Then they mold your ears, and it's just like a stiff experience.
and they make it come from left and right, and then it starts very fine, and then it increases, and you push it when you hear
and
it.
then they cover their mouth, and they say words, and they ask you to repeat the word.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
remember
word. So it's like a bit of an intimidating experience, but I think... Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't wear my hearing aids as much as I should just because of the experience of it. Because, like, the hearing aids say battery low. So it becomes like a little jaw, you know? Like, you're talking to someone, it's like, battery low, battery low, battery low, battery low.
What? It speaks
and I
to
can't, dude. I can't. Can you imagine we just having, like, a young chat and it's like, battery low. Like, I can't. It's not a journey I want to be on, you know?
There's got to be a better way to do that. Like,
I think they are with more modern ones, but like I'm not trying to find out, you know? Like I'm
you've got
just
like Siri in your ears there.
I'm
yeah.
okay with not hearing the battery low song. Like it's all right.
Okay.
And anyway, then but it's cool because they've got settings. So like if you're in a windy environment, it chops off the wind. So you can only hear people talking. It's mad cool.
That's cool. It's like a
you're
sound desk
transformer,
for your
dude.
head.
You're a transformer.
Yeah.
That's what you are.
That's
you put those
gangster.
hearing aids in and you're a transformer.
That's pretty badass. It's like one of these for your head.
Basically,
yeah.
And you can Bluetooth it and connect it to your TV, to your phone.
No, you're joking.
It's like elevated AirPods.
Can you play
AI
music through
AirPods.
them? Can you play music through them?
Yes.
What?
And remember, the hearing aid's already set to like your capacity to what you hear. So like my left ear has got less hearing than my right ear, but my left ear is my better music ear. Make it make
Wait,
sense,
what?
right? And that's why I've got a tattoo of a bass clef behind my ear. So it set to like this ear will be louder on the hearing aid to hear more, whereas this one will then match. So your hearing aids are already set to like what your hearing capacity is, and then you can do all these other little nifty things. And that's what I'm saying. There's a way to like make those cool. There's a way to market
that's quite
awareness
gangster.
around that you can make it fun and cool and interesting. And that's why I'm wanting to collaborate with like audiologists or like hearing institutions or sort of deaf awareness schools and like organizations. I think it's just figuring out what my role in that can be. There's something really uncomfortable about doing charity work publicly, you know? Like, but at the same time, I can use my platform as an artist to build that awareness. Yeah. So I think I'm becoming really sort of, and I'm like, I'm old, man, you know? And I'm only now coming to the point where I'm like, oh, like this is like a really cool thing about me. Like
that
I should
kind of
really...
stuff does take time, though. Like you kind of, I don't know. I'm not. Oh, shit,
You're not
old.
deaf?
No, I'm not. Yeah, loser.
You can't sit with
Yeah,
us.
I don't have any of those dope ass hearing aids. But yeah, you kind of start to find yourself in terms of like. When I was younger, not that I'm very old, but when I was younger, like there'd
Back
be
in my
something.
day.
Yeah, there'd be something about myself that maybe other people didn't like or that I didn't like, and I'd be like, I have to change it. And you spend so much time trying to change it.
Yeah.
Rather than realizing, wait, that's actually just who I am.
Yeah.
How do I make it the best possible version of that?
That
You
was
know,
like
you
my
accept
yeah,
it.
and
Yeah.
that was also my big turnaround with Layers, my sophomore album.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna like everyone told me like one of the biggest labels in our country told me like indie will never sell, like alt rock will never sell, and that's literally the basis of something like no it can't. But also No Khan was on a journey for so long because people were like not really thinking of the potential of authenticity. I think COVID really flipped that switch. And people are starting to be a lot more authentic and raw and honest on social media. I think sometimes to our detriment. But that opened the gap for what I do.
Okay.
And I took that opportunity to go, I'm going to write the songs that I stand by. I'm going to say the nitty-gritty, ugly truth. I'm going to put this album out there, and it was released in 3 different layers, hence layers. And the first layer is like my indie tracks, my root of songwriting, like that sort of country, indie, storytelling, songwriting approach, which is like my love. Like that's really what I love to do.
Okay.
And it was 3 tracks. The second half was how I sound live. That is like my more alt rock, sort of Joan Jett, Miley Cyrus, sort of like more rocky, country rock kind of alt rock scene. And then the rest of the album was kind of saying, I can do pop if I want to.
Okay.
And then the album ends on like a trap hip hop on my piano song.
Gangster.
Yeah,
I need to hear that song.
I think I just reached the point where I was like, and it comes back to what you were saying. I was like, I'm just gonna own what I write.
Yeah.
And so for that to be the most successful album, and we put no funds into the marketing.
Really?
I didn't boost a single post. I didn't have an agent. I did everything independently. I had my publicist pitch it to radio station. That's it.
Okay.
I recorded everything we did behind the scenes. I did the album. It was such an expensive project. And everybody throughout my music journey till that point had a role in my album. To the photographer, to the person that did my behind the scenes, Jason Nell, and my band at the time in Joburg was involved with it. We actually recorded it at Zon Studios. Like everything had led up to the build up. I went to Bloom and did the first layer with my first ever producer. Like everybody that's had a role in my career had a role in that project. Yeah. And then for that to be the album that made waves, and then for that to be the album that got the summer nomination was like a defining moment in my career.
Because you
and
chose to do it that way.
And I think that's why, like, if you listen to Hot Mess and you listen to My Love, they were released a month apart, 2 months apart, more or less, and they are worlds apart.
Different.
Like, My Love is very sort of Ben Howard-y, sort of Nova, more like indie, like in your field. And Hot Mess is just like, badass, get it, you know, like a super punk rock, fun track. And that's what I want to be. Like, I don't want to just take one approach. I want to write the songs that I like and release the songs that I release, and that be my journey. I want to create music that's timeless. Yeah. So whatever fits what I write, I'm not going to change it to fit the commercial sphere. I'm not going to change it to get the numbers. And I think that's why my career has taken more time to grow. Because I don't want to do the trendy things. I want to do what feels authentic to me.
Right to you.
And my best performing songs are my deeper songs. Yeah. Like Any Better, like When You're Ready, like Scared to Love. Those are my songs that perform better. Yeah. And so that has kind of been a sign to me that I should continue to do that kind of music and stick to my guns with layers, even if it takes more time for my career to build, because I want to look back at my career, I want to look back at my followers and know that all of that was organic. We built that organically, just being organic to who I am and my craft as well. So I just think that's what makes art and like our local community of artists so interesting, because everybody's doing a different thing. But I find myself really struggling with like how people create content, and it's like so aesthetic, and like there's an awesome young generation of artists that's coming up, especially female artists, and you find yourself comparing. Like you find yourself going, oh, am I doing enough? Like, am I creating enough content? Like, how do I do that? And I think I'm just edging a lot more. I'm taking the frustration of that and I'm going, I'm just going to do my thing. I'm just going to do my thing because I want my career to work in a way that's honest to who I am. All of the messy, all the mistakes I've made in my career, all the relationships I've maybe burned over the course of my career, just the things I've learned over the course of my career. Like, I want a role in this music industry that goes beyond me just making it. Like,
so what's been your, because when we started out, you're speaking on the industry and being honest about industry, and especially being a female artist in South Africa, especially. What's been some of the frustrations, but also some of the highlights regarding dealing with the music industry?
So-
Does someone want to crack this?
Knox,
Cheers.
ignite your love for hydration.
There we go. Shit, that was well done, dude.
That actually was. I maintain I should design like ads for people. Like
Do
I
it.
feel like
Do
I feel
it.
like that. Who knows?
Why not?
Maybe. Anyway, so I think the biggest thing that female artists are struggling with is access to the rooms we need to be in, and it feels like we are like at the front line, and we're staying at the front line, and we're never just quite reaching the end of like.
Why? Why do you think that's the case? Like, what is it?
I
Like,
can tell you what the industry is saying it is. Like, if you
Yeah.
listen to festival owners, it's we can't sell as many tickets.
why?
Like, because female artists don't have the reach that they need in their view to sell out venues. But we're also not able to build that reach because we're having to rely on social media where it's already so densely populated because everybody's like fighting for their life, trying to make it. I think another part of it is finding management that really stands behind you. I think there's so many nuances to it, but ultimately, I mean, like these artist search that they do online, you know, these artist search competitions, we're not getting transparency. Like we'll engage, we'll get tags, we'll apply via the artist application for festivals. And it's not everyone, but we're doing the things that we need to do. We're staying relevant. We're releasing music, you know, like I got a summer nomination. I've only had one gig this year and it's still coming. We're in July. You know, so it's just really difficult to gain access because they believe inherently that we can't sell tickets, that we can't sell venues, that
So-
we don't have a big enough following or a big enough base, and therefore there isn't a demand business-wise to be putting female artists in better slots. If you look at lineup, they're predominantly white men. The festival lineups are pretty much the same and have been for the last like 4 or 5 years. If you go look carefully, like if you go look at who's getting booked for all these gigs, the same people, and it's not to say that they don't earn that, it's not to say that they shouldn't be on those stages, it's that there's been times where I've been told, oh, okay, you can come sing at our festival, we'll give you an empty camping spot, we'll give you 600 Rand fuel for 5 band members to get there and back, which doesn't even cover the there. We're not gonna pay you to do the slot. And yeah, like you're gonna get great exposure, and then you give me the 9 a.m. slot when everybody's still bubbleering, and I come out with a great loss. And this is the reality that a lot of musicians are facing. And we need gigs to earn that money to then create music. It's all intertwined because the recording houses that are collecting our royalties are also not releasing royalties properly. But then you also have to understand the festival's perspective. Festival owners are booking these artists, right? And they are putting crazy amount of money. They've got investors, they've got sponsors into making this event successful. And that's excluding health and safety, liquor licenses, just everything that goes with running a festival. So I understand the inherent fear-led decision of, but this is working, we're going to stick to it, because a lot of people forget that if an event is not successful, that festival owner then carries majority of the
loss.
brunt and the loss.
Yeah.
So I understand that it's a fear-led decision in that, but we need to guarantee sales.
Yeah.
I think the issue that female artists are having is you're putting a lot of the times average talent on the stage, and then you're also booking 15 other male artists, and then people of color and female artists are like right at the bottom in small font unless you are already an established female artist.
Well, I'm gonna play not
Devil's advocate.
well, not really, because I completely understand where you're coming from. But as someone that's not in the music industry,
Yeah.
right? I want to ask you questions in such a way that you shed light so that people watching don't go, yeah, but what about, yeah, but you see what I'm
There's
saying?
so many like levels to what makes it
100%.
complicated.
But if we use Tyler as an example, right?
Yeah.
What is frustrating for me as someone that is so proud of her being South African and making it, I've never seen her live. So there was never a festival, a show, anything that got put forward as like, oh, I want to go see her. Maybe I missed the opportunity.
I think it's also just like the circles I'm going to be a bit devil's advocate. Maybe it's also just the circles we're in. I think if we're not going to your like more hip hop urban scene, you're less likely to then be pre-exposed to those artists, right? So I think it's just the circles you move in.
So
but
then on that,
I fully agree in that really there was a song she released just before Water that was also just like a bop. It was massive in South Africa. I can't think of the name now. Tyler's been making good, like, I think if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But she's been creating music in her genre that is, the recipe has been right for a long time. I think Water just landed at the right time with the right community. You know, you've got Black Coffee that sort of propelled eyes onto this country as well, among many other artists as well. It's not just Black Coffee, but I think South Africa is just on a world radar right now in terms of our creatives, because we've got really, really, really talented artists that are coming out of our country. We've also got artists that are making enough waves on their social media presence that force the rest of the world to pay attention. I mean, we've got so many South African artists that are selling out tours in Europe. Like, it's insane. So I think it just... Part of it is our fault if we're not supporting the arts broadly, not just in the spaces that we move in and through. I think a large part of it is exactly that, not putting these artists in front of us. Then that brings us to the female artist part, which is...
That's where I'm going with it.
We're sticking with one sound. It's just a copy-paste, ukulele, backtrack, bouncing around on a stage, the same lineup, the same sound, the same genre, and then like one or two little fruity, you know, different sounds, if you're lucky, depending on the festival. Every festival has a sound or a certain atmosphere that it's looking to create. And because we're not doing festivals of multi-genres, you're finding that you're only staying in creative spaces through which social spaces you are moving through. Because the industry is not affording diverse festivals. It's not creating festivals that are bringing all these communities together. But I do also think it's true that it's on us as the audience and as other creatives to go support other creatives and to go support shows that we wouldn't otherwise go to. I mean, I went to a theater production, and at any point during the show, you can like shout something and then they have to smash a bong and then they have to just carry on performing their thing. It was so much fun. It was such an interactive theater piece. And it's not something I would have just naturally have gone to, having studied theater. I'm always looking for really rich, you know, meaningful pieces. But it was so fun. It was like a complete flip on what I usually go and do. You know, I love jazz music, but I don't often go watch live jazz music. So I've been trying to get out to those spaces more. And that's what I'm saying. I think it's a two-way street, but when we think of the creative industry at large, no. South Africa is not creating, South African festivals, South African venues are not creating enough opportunities for diverse lineup, for diverse artists, and it's a problem. Because now the people who already have the platform. And then you also have the counter-argument, the counter-debate, which is, but the industry doesn't owe you jack shit. Like, earn your place, like work hard, get there. And that's also true. So when I say there's nuances to this, there is nuances, but what is undeniable is that female artists are crawling and fighting their way to justify why they should be booked. A lot of artists are starting to say, we're just gonna do our own shows. And I think that is where the power lies, because you're taking the power away from the people that aren't affording you these opportunities. And like, that's where I'm at. Like, I'm at a point where I just want to start curating my own shows. And if you won't pay attention to me, then I will make you pay attention. And I will build a community with the people who are already listening and welcome any new listeners to extend that community. And so I think it's just about figuring out where to dispose your energy. Like I'm trying to control what I can control while also speaking out on these things and hoping for that change in the industry, because I don't have the solution. I wish I did. I wish I did.
Do you know Russ? I
Love
bring
him.
him up. Yeah.
Love him.
So I was
and
listening.
his perspective is so
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, his mental strength is crazy. I actually met my partner at a Russ concert when he came to Cape Town.
Okay.
He's like one of my favorite artists.
Russ took the approach of, I'm not going to rely on the industry. And by industry, I'm not going to rely on the heads that decide who's good and who's not and who's relevant and who moves tickets. I'm going to develop my own fan base. And those are the people that then want to listen to me. Plus, it gives me the right to own 100% of my own music, unless obviously he brings someone in to produce with him or he uses a sample or whatever. That's all mine now. And I wonder if that's not possibly a solution to it.
That's why a lot of female artists are independent.
Yeah.
That's exactly why, because it's a more tedious. That's why I say my career is slowly, because it's tedious, but also you need to understand to record a song is upwards of 7,000 rand. So again, it's like if I was getting my royalties, I wouldn't have this problem. But the royalty payouts are so inconsistent, and then sometimes they don't come out, and then you've got to track your own listens, and
apparently that's
it's such a schlep. It's such a problem, and like I've got a lot of money that's lying there that could help me. I could do an album next week, and I've got the songs. I've got songs ready to go, but I don't just have like that, like what, 40, 50K if you're lucky to like pull out like an 8 to 12 track album. But at the same time, there's so many things that like every little relationship I've built has built me to the point where I have access to do these things easier. It was just such a slow build. And like, this is where I really want to encourage artists, like, every interaction you have is a gateway to something in your career. Do not question that. I realized that pretty late on in my career. And I wish, like, there's so many things I did in like the beginning of like getting my career up and started. I've been doing this, like my first album I released was Matric. It's like a full 14-track album. So, but I had no one guiding me. No one in my family is exposed to these things. YouTube wasn't then like what it is now, you know, like, so I just don't think I had the skills and the tools and a mentor to guide me through like the nitty-gritties of interactions with people and how networking works. So now I know the value of, one day I went to do a gig and there were only 3 people there, but one of those 3 people is a booking agent for this artist. And then they didn't take me on, but they told me about this other gig that I should probably apply for. And then I applied for that gig. Then one day my friend was like, I was having like a really low day, and she was just like, listen, I'm going to Gorgeous George to go watch Majosi come through.
Love
And
Majosi.
at Gorgeous George, such a cool dude. Such a cool dude. And going to Gorgeous George for Majosi's intimate show then had me introduced to my really, really dear friend, Jana, who used to run events for Gorgeous George. And now Jana and I are going to be working together to do the shows that we curate that I want to do in my own capacity. Every interaction matters.
Yeah.
And then I did Band or Bust with Tex in the City, and Majosi was one of the judges. Then you add that's how Tekla and I connected, and the doors that opened for me in my career. And now I'm doing After Dark, and I've been invited to perform there at the Aquarium, which is one of like my dream South African gigs.
Yeah.
Kirsten Bosch is the other one. Just saying.
It's
we're
coming.
available.
It's coming. It's
yeah,
coming. It's coming.
but every little interaction, like your friendship circles, you know, if it wasn't for me knowing someone in the music industry, I wouldn't have met Anika.
Yeah.
And if I didn't meet Anika, I wouldn't have met Ariana.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy things like one of my mates from back in the day was really good friends with Sophia Frank. And we were like on a video call one day and we never met. And now Sophia Frank is an up-and-coming female artist.
Sick.
And it's just crazy, man. Like, please don't underestimate, like if I can say to up-and-coming artists, please don't underestimate like the interactions that you're having, because like sometimes, like I have this problem, I'm so hard on myself, but sometimes you're so focused on that door. There's 6 other doors people are knocking, but because you think that person isn't valuable enough, or because you think you don't even know those people exist. You don't even know that Johannes having a beer there in the back of House of Machines is actually low-key looking to invest in an artist. I mean, that's how Keenan Extian was found with Jeremy. So you just don't know who is in the room and how much impact that could have on the future of your career. And I have found, because I don't move in, oh, I want to be your friend so that I can get this gig, because a lot of artists and people in general move that way. I have built organic relationships, and I think that for me is far more valuable than where those relationships can go, because of the knowledge I've gained from the people that I've met. And that knowledge can go further than that one show could ever take me. You know what I mean? Like, just changing that perspective is like what's getting me through, just working through never ever losing the passion for it, because these little nitty-gritties, these stream numbers, the interactions you're getting on socials, you're following, because industry people care about that. You know, people that are going to book you, people that are going to interview you. Changing my perspective on that keeps me accountable for, girl, you literally can't hear half the things that are happening around you. You can take this pain that you're going through and you can write a song that makes people feel less alone. It's so therapeutic to know that you have this gift and then to utilize it. And I think sometimes we get so caught up on whether that's successful or not, that we don't recognize like the power and the beauty in, but I've got this gift. And I'm taking it a step further, and I'm like being vulnerable, and I'm going to do something with it. And that's what artists are doing. Like, we're bearing our souls for you and for ourselves. Like, that is depending on the art you're making. You know what I mean? Like, we're not, you know, like, I'm not thinking like about just random day-to-day things.
100%.
Me, personally, as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Some people do, which is, I mean, we need that. Like, I'm not trying to go out on the town and like, never mind, I'll find.
Oh,
You know what I mean? I love it.
Love that song.
But like, I'm not trying to like get away from like my corporate job drama and then never mind, I'll find. Like, I'm trying to go out and be like, make it drop. You know, like, woo. Like, I'm trying to like get, and I think that's what makes music a form of escapism
in different areas,
that word,
right?
escapism.
Got you.
Escapism.
There we go. Yeah.
Escapism. Anyway, I think that's why music is such a form of escapism for people, because you can utilize it for healing. You can utilize it for just like breathing and reconnecting. And that's why I find it so weird that we're like, oh my gosh, like, no, like, you can't come into this music space. Like, I'm trying to make it. I'm like, but we're not doing the same thing. And there's enough space for all of us to exist in this industry if we're just not being so toxic and like gatekeepy. Like, I see no issue with Anika being more successful than me. I have no issue with that, because I'm like, that's someone that's working hard, that's chasing their dream, is getting the numbers that they want to get, and they're doing so authentically and organically. Like, why are we not cheering other artists on? Why are we not? And that's why I say, like, even though I'm not on the festival lineup, even though there are other artists on these lineups, it's not to say that they haven't worked their way there. It's not to say that they shouldn't be on those stages. I can recognize the joy. Dude, there's nothing better than being on stage and performing for people that know your music, and being, for me, with my band. Like, there's nothing more fulfilling than taking that gift, and for me it's spiritual, like really taking that gift and putting it somewhere, and I'm doing it with these beautiful people that understand this language that is music, and it's so much fun to perform with my band. I've got an awesome band, and so, you know, what was I talking about?
You were talking about successful artists and supporting each other, not gatekeeping.
And so for me, I love witnessing other artists in that feeling, because I know that feeling and we crave that feeling. So I don't see the issue with like experiencing that joy with them or for them, even if it's someone that like you're like, oh, you know, I can still take myself back and go, but Carla, you want that. And you would love to be that person. Like, don't be so bitter. Like, just, and it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that when you're like pushing, and you've been pushing for years for like the thing that you love. But that feeling is so indescribable, and it's such a it's not a validation. It's we did it. We did it. And what a beautiful thing to be here right now, playing this instrument, singing these songs, and you can just, nothing matters more to you or your band than just being able to do this thing in those 45 minutes or that hour. And then to have people enjoy that
And resonate
is the
with it,
secondary coolest feeling, because you know what music does for you. Like, we all listen to music. You know what Russ's music does for you, and it might be different than what Ben Howard's music does for you, which is different to what MJK.
Yeah, MJK. Yeah, MJK.
Yeah. Dude. Anyway, and everything serves a purpose. I see no harm in going to support local artists. And my attitude is also walk the walk, talk the talk. Like, don't talk the talk, walk the walk. So if I want artists to come and support me, and I want artists to be happy for me and my journey, I want to authentically support those artists. No one's asking me to, no one's telling me to, I want to, because we are a community, and I think especially with the female artists, we should support one another, because we can't ask others to support us if we're not willing to support us.
I also want to continue this conversation because this fascinates me as well, industry-wise, because we deal with very similar
things.
Yeah.
I am going to be performing at House of Machines at the end of August.
Okay.
We've got After Dark coming now at the end of July. We will be posting live show content from that. So
Sick.
For people who missed it, you can see what we're about, and then hopefully come and support us. House of Machines, end of August. It's also a free show. So you literally have nothing to lose. Come through, support local artists. It's also Women's Month, to come support the female artists.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on the 29th of August, the last Friday of August, we'll be at House of Machines. It's myself and my band. It will be my full band pulling through. And I'm really looking forward to it. House of Machines is a bit of it's the first space that opened to me as a live performing artist in Cape Town. And so I've got a bit of a soft spot for them. I'm really looking forward to being there.
Sick.
And they've got great copy, because I'm not someone to at my shows, you know? They've got great copy, great people, and like I said, it's a free show. You can get a little insight into what I'm about and what we do. And I promise I'm not saddies on, at my live shows. So yeah, that's coming up.
I'm excited. I'll be there.
Yeah, and I'm also going to be working on new music in the upcoming months. So that's me.
I'll put all links below to all of it. I'll put link to the live show as well as to your music and everything below. Yeah. Please go give Carla a follow as well. Sorry that we've got through half the amount of topics I want to talk about. But
people are going to think I'm so serious.
No. I don't think that.
I'm a little serious, but I'm funny sometimes.
Let's do something around the live show. Let's do something around there. And have you come back in and we can talk about the performance.
And we can knock that out of the park. I need to stop doing that.
There you go. You smashed that.
We actually need to stop doing that.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you
for shedding light into industry.
And
also for supporting female artists.
Yeah.
It's dope that you do.
And I appreciate this space.
Yeah.
I really, really dig what you do. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Well done. Smashed it.
Sure.
Thank you, guys.